Lily and Kai used to terrorize the town. Since they were the size of knee-high imps, they had the good fortune of living in the same apartment complex. So, naturally, Lily would tromp upstairs to Kai's door every day to drag him on another adventure, whether that meant racing through the aisles of the grocery store across the street, playing hide-and-seek in Kai's family barber shop, or establishing themselves as the monarchs of the playground a block over. Kai was normally a bit of a reclusive child, so he was too shy to go over to Lily's apartment on his own. But Lily didn't mind going to greet him each day. He was her adventuring partner, after all, the first mate of all her pirate ships and the co-pilot of all her airplanes. For Kai's part, he always made sure to have some sort of gift prepared for his friend when she came to see him. Usually, this was a lollipop. He had a near infinite supply from the barber shop, after all. She gave him such a sprawling grin when he surprised her with a strawberry lollipop the first time that the young boy never failed to have one ready from that day forward. This went on for years, the playing, the mischief, and the lollipops. In fact, they were together so often that they were rarely referred to individually. Whenever someone in town talked about them, it was as Lily and Kai, or, just as commonly, those troublemakers. These were what Lily considered the happiest years of her life, but they came to an end once she entered middle school. This was when, all at once, school seemed to get harder and the people seemed to get crueler. Little by little, she started feeling insecurities that had never crossed her mind before. She suddenly didn't feel smart enough, pretty enough, or even like she was a good person on most days. But in spite of this, the worst thing about this new chapter of her life was that Kai wasn't there to help her through it. One day, during the summer before middle school started, she went to his door, like always, and no one answered. Her mother would later explain to her that Kai and his parents had suddenly needed to fly back to Kyoto due to an urgent family matter. Even though, logically, she knew that it wasn't Kai's fault, Lily couldn't help but feel betrayed. How could he leave without even saying goodbye? Just the day before, they'd raided a candy store together. He must have known about this. Why would he pretend like everything was fine? Over time, the feeling of betrayal gave way to a stronger feeling of loneliness. Before, all she'd needed was Kai. She had no need for other friends. Now, she realized that making friends was a lot harder than she thought. Most people already seemed to have their own groups, and when she finally did manage to work her way into one, it was completely different from what she knew friendship to be. She had to behave a certain way and be careful to say the right things around the right people in a balancing act that felt so different from when she'd hung out with Kai in the past. These new relationships felt fake, like they could evaporate at the drop of a hat. On top of this, school started to get even harder, and Lily found herself struggling to keep up. She spent so much time working on homework and studying, yet the results always turned out mediocre. And for some reason, everyone had suddenly started caring a weird amount about clothes and the way they looked. Now, when Lily looked in the mirror, she couldn't help but wonder if other people thought she was ugly. She sure felt that way sometimes. So this was how middle school went for Lily. She felt average on a good day, worse on any other. She felt it was reasonable to believe that high school would be more of the same. In most ways it was. She was haunted by the same loneliness, the same insecurities. Why would anything change? She thought this as she was leaving school on the bus. wishing her new math teacher hadn't given quite so much homework on the first day. That really shouldn't have been allowed. She glanced back at the building spitefully and did a double take. In a large group of kids by the gate, she could have sworn she saw Kai. He had the same shy smile, the same messy black hair. But there was no way it could be him. He was halfway across the world. She couldn't believe the first day had her feeling so down that she was hallucinating. She'd have to treat herself to some ice cream when she got home. She clearly needed it. But as she lay in her bed that night, she couldn't get the boy's face out of her head. It was honestly uncanny just how much he looked like Kai. She stared at the ball of lollipop wrappers she'd made when she was little, still sitting on her dresser. She had to check. It was ridiculous, and she knew it was ridiculous, but she had to check. She decided to go up to Kai's old apartment. It had been unoccupied all this time, but maybe now. She jumped out of bed and rushed down the hallway. She swung open the apartment door to leave, and there he was, complete with an entire bag of lollipops. Not nearly enough to make up for the lost years, but Lily really couldn't stop herself from smiling either way.